Hey guys, Enterprising Engine 93 here. I wanted to roll right with the questions, but before I start, I wanted to tell you guys that although I can't upload videos all the time, a lot of projects that I've been helping out with are being posted on a collaborations playlist on my channel. So even though I'm not always uploading videos here, there's a lot of videos that I'm helping friends and other students at school with. So if you want to hear my voice or see other things that I've been up to, feel free to check out that playlist. It's other projects that you can see me in. Alright, the first question, will there be more characters to audition for in the future? Absolutely. Anyone can send an audition to me at any time. There will be more roles and more characters to audition for, as always. And if you did not get a part, there will be some parts in the movie, and actually this episode, where anyone can lend their voice in to be a part of a big crowd scene. So don't worry, everyone will get their chance to be in Enterprising Engines. Why do you use the wooden railway versions of the Skarloey and Coldie Fell engines instead of the Take and Play versions? The reason I do this is I don't actually collect Take and Play, and I've noticed that some users use the Take and Play versions because they're smaller than the wooden railway versions. It kind of creates a difference in gauge, whereas the wooden railway, everything sort of is the same size. I prefer to collect wooden railways, so it's just mainly because I don't collect Take and Play. That's the only real reason. How do you pull off those tracking shots? What's your method? It's really interesting, actually. It's a camera mounted on a Lego train track, and on the Lego train is a bumper that pushes the wooden train. So as I hold the camera on the Lego train, it moves alongside the wooden train on the patio, and it creates a very nice tracking shot. Unfortunately, I've moved house, so I don't have that patio anymore. But the way I pull off those tracking shots is by using a Lego train with a camera mounted on it, pushing the wooden train along. It creates some really nice high-speed sequences, and I really like the way it looks. I just have to find a new place to continue making these great shots. What do you think of the Andrew Brenner era? I think it is a fantastic rebirth of the series. I can only see it getting better as it goes on. From what I've seen of Season 18, we've really worked a lot of kinks out. The animation looks a lot better. There's a lot of Railway series elements that I wasn't even aware of that are being introduced, like Sir Robert Norramby and the signal gantry at Knapford being added. Just a lot of great new things. I am very excited and optimistic, and I am very pleased with what we've been receiving with Season 18, 17, and King of the Railway, respectively. Are you a Pokemon fan? Favorite Pokemon? What do you think of X and Y? It's no secret that I am a huge Pokemon fan. My favorite Pokemon is Arcanine, with Typhlosion, Dragonite, and Electabuzz coming in very close as competitors for that. And I thought X and Y was fantastic. I just think it needed to be a little longer and had more of a post-game. There wasn't as much to do, but the new battle style and effects were fantastic. If you were ever to become a modeler for trains, what type of content would you produce? What do I think of Wild Nor'Westers series? If I ever became a modeler for trains, I'm very intrigued, actually. I was very tempted to start doing a train series because it's so much easier. All of it's in your computer, from what I've seen. I would love to make areas like Ulfstead Castle and the Blue Mountain Quarry and make some really expansive TV series locations and have everyone be able to download them, but they're also very, very hard to manipulate and edit. So I'm not familiar with it at all, but if I could, I would love to get good at it and maybe make some awesome places. And I am a huge fan of Wild Nor'Westers series. He is one of the great fan series out there, like really one of the best ones. I'm a huge fan. I'm really excited for Sodor the Modern Years. One of my top 5 favorite wooden railway items. In order, I would say they are the Flying Scotsman, of course, Wilbert, Mike, Frank, and Diesel 199. Favorite era? I would have to say seasons 1 through 4 narrated by George Carlin. That's where most of my nostalgia comes from, and season 4 is my favorite season. Will any of the multi-part episodes be released as one whole episode? I am thinking of doing that. I would actually like to hear your opinion on this, guys, because I want to upload Swashbuckler, the new episode, in parts, but I was also thinking of when it's all uploaded, create a movie version where you could watch the whole thing straight through. So if you guys don't think that's redundant and you would actually like to have it both in parts and in one whole movie, or perhaps a director's cut of Munitions be released, please comment here and tell me. I would actually be very interested to hear what you have to say. Will seen and not heard characters like Bramo and the military jet get larger roles in the Enterprising Engine series? Well, I'll tell you right now, not everyone, unless you're on the Enterprising Engines wiki, you don't know the names of a lot of these unnamed characters. Bramo is a motorcycle with a face that was seen in Blunderbuss and maybe Dodge, the remastered version. The military jet has made ambiguous appearances in Paxton and Norman and Lithbridge, and everyone wants to know, who is that? What's going on? The military jet was supposed to get a role in Season 2, but I had to push that episode back because there's a lot of green screen involved with his flight. Let's just say that. So I'm definitely going to. I promised that I would do it in Season 2, but I don't think it's going to happen. Bramo is actually getting an episode to himself in Season 3. Thoughts on King of the Railway? I loved King of the Railway. It's actually my favorite Thomas special. I love the jab at Henry's special Cole. I like the newcomers. I actually really like Millie, Sir Robert Normanby, and Stephen a lot, and Connor and Caitlin are growing on me quite a bit. I think it really established Sodor as a community. It wasn't just about the STEAM team. We were all over the island seeing how everything was working. I think it was a huge step in the right direction and a very enjoyable Thomas film. Do you prefer making standard or narrow gauge episodes more? I think I prefer to make narrow gauge episodes because I really got the chemistry between the whole fleet and the Finn controller put together so well, and they're so much fun to write for. And I'm also very proud of the voice cast that I've assembled. Will Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand ever appear? Are there characters that will never appear? I can honestly say that Misty Island and Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand will probably never appear in the series, although I feel like I could do some justice writing-wise. I just am not inspired to write or purchase them at all. I will say, in regards to characters that have not shown up in the series yet, there's still hope for them to appear. I just want to be sure that I develop as many characters that are already appearing in the cast as possible. When is Thomas going to have a main role in an episode? I get this question all the time. I really made this series to dedicate it to the background characters, or the characters who just don't get as much screen time as a certain Starbiller. In Season 3, Thomas will have his first episode to himself in the Enterprising Engines series, so it will happen. Tips for college. How's it going so far? Well, thank you. College is going great. I'm studying film and screenwriting, and I'm doing everything I really enjoy. I've met a lot of great people. There's been some struggles along the way, but I would say don't be afraid to step back and just count your blessings and look around you and see where you can go from where you're stuck if you're going through a tough time. So to stay focused, determined, and never give up hope on yourself or other people, good things will always come around. Who is your favorite narrow gauge engine? Skarloey is by far my favorite narrow gauge engine. His voice acting in the current show, that deep voice he has, is just it's so perfect for him in my opinion. It's got this booming voice coming from this little engine. Do you collect other Thomas brands like Ertl and Take and Play? What was the first Thomas item you ever received? How many engines do you have? Where do you even get this stuff? What was the hardest to get? I'll answer these one at a time. I don't collect other brands, although I did collect a lot of Lionel trains growing up. They're all packed away due to the move, but I still use a lot of the buildings and accessories for background scenes. The first Thomas item I ever received was Thomas the Tank Engine with staples on the bottom. In 1993, I think I got it the year I was born, my grandparents wanted to set me up with a Brio and Thomas the Tank Engine set as soon as possible. And that was like probably the first toy that I remember playing with as a child. How many engines do I have? Well, I don't know if I have time to count because some of my trains are at my dad's house and some of them are here and some of them are in my basement and some of them are in my car. Well over 200 trains because there's at least 120 characters, duplicates and all, and also the rolling stock comes into play and I have well over 70 of those. So I would say, yeah, well over 200. I have quite a bit. But they've been accumulated over the past 21 years since I was an infant to now, and I've been getting a lot more recently because I've been spending a lot of extra money trying to update the cast so they all look nice and cool. Where do I even get this stuff? I would say I use Amazon and Train Seller very often. What was the hardest item to get? The hardest item to get was Marion, actually, because I accidentally shipped it to college while I was home and I had to intercept the delivery saying, no, ship it here, ship it, no, ship it to, oh, it was a disaster. So I thankfully directed Marion to where she was supposed to end up, but it did take some time, at least 2 days of scrambling to figure that out. What do you enjoy most about creating YouTube videos? I really love being involved with the Thomas fandom and writing these stories and seeing how it really brightens up people's days. I get comments from kids and adults alike about how much the series means to them and how much fun they have watching it and getting involved. You guys are what I enjoy most.